Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and man, do I have some great news for you. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Star Wars Racer. We're going to be doing a review right now. We're going to go into the down and dirty. We're going to see how this thing looks compared to the old version, if you guys remember, way back, I think it was in Nintendo 64 days. I remember when that game came out, I was like going nuts. I couldn't wait for this game to come out. I wanted to see how the heck it is. It's with Anakin Skywalker. So, you know, the whole racing thing from the prequels. So, let's see, and let's get right into it, and let's see how the heck it is. Let's get right into it. Okay, guys, so let's just see what they got here. So, right here, we're going to go right into this. We're going to go into, let's just see if there's anything on right now. I don't think there is. So it's 1.0.1. Okay, so I think there was an update at one point. So let's get right into it. So yeah, just so you guys know, you can play this on split screen against your friends. So that's pretty freaking dope. LucasArts, the old thing right there. So I gotta say, when I first looked at this, I was like, oh god, this is just gonna be a, you know, a port right away. So you can see I got a little bit into this game a little much. So it does look a little bit dated, but it's more brushed, as you can tell. I'm playing this obviously on the 4K screen, so you guys could see how it looks in 4K when it's stretched out, the HD. So it looks actually pretty dope. It looks much cleaner, and there you go, Anakin Skywalker. So it looks pretty awesome, and there you go, Vor. So we're gonna go into the first one because I want to show you how the heck this thing is. So there are some little things that happen here that you guys are gonna see. So here we go. So first off, you could go into the junkyard, you could buy parts, you could vehicle upgrades, inspect vehicle, buy pit droids, change vehicle, and so on and so forth. Let's take a look at the options here. As you can see, you know, inverted, nothing really, it's very basic, you know what I mean? I'm trying to look at the, does it have controls here? Yeah, okay, controls here. Let's see, show configurations, repair, boost. See, so you got the boost thing here. Steer, change view, slide, so on and so forth. Okay, let's get into the next one. Change vehicle. So you can see you could get a bunch of vehicles here. Yes, it looks dated. Okay. But it's actually an amazing game. I can't tell you how I still love it. I'm not talking even from a nostalgic point of view here. I'm talking about how good it feels, even if I was a newcomer to the game. I'm doing this. And here we go. Buy parts. So you could buy all kinds of parts for your racing vehicle upgrades. As you can see, I'm not going to go too much into this. Inspect vehicle. Look at that. And then start race. Let's just start the race and get right to the nitty-gritty. Now you can see already, this is what I don't like. So they had this in the Nintendo 64 as well, where they play these cutscenes and they're so, the frame rates are so horrible. And that's exactly what's going on here with the cutscenes. And you can tell there's like the crowd there. I wish they could have came out with a new one for the Nintendo Switch. I really do. I kind of am a little teed off that it was like a direct port with a little bit of, you know, obviously they cleaned it up, as you can see, to match the resolutions of today. So it looks pretty cool. It's kind of like playing it on an emulator, really. So you could see once it goes into the game itself, everything is operating pretty fast, as you can tell right here. And there you go, goes right into it, and now you're gonna see. The controls are really easy. They kind of remind me of Ridge Racer controls, not like Sega Rally. So that's pretty cool, you're gonna see right now. And I like how the progression and difficulty, like you can see in the first stage, it's really easy. The progression of difficulty is really cool, because as you get through it, it gets harder and harder. People to beat are much, you know, you're going to need to upgrade and so on and so forth. So look, you can look it back at you, just like the regular, you know. But they look really brushed and fine here. I really like it. So you could shut off the rumble on and off, I believe, but in this situation, it's pretty cool. Remember before with the rumble controls, I was like digging it so much on the Nintendo 64. Remember that? I think it was the rumble pack. God, that was ages ago. And it tells you when you're off, because you know it's kind of hard to tell when you're on road, when you're off road, and so on and so forth. But I love the fact that they made the controls always easy. With Sega Rally, it was a nightmare to control the vehicle. You really had to get into the beat of things. Even though I loved that game, it was a different control schematic because you felt like you're slipping the entire time. Even though it is off-road, but still, it shouldn't be like that. This is much easier to control, exactly like kind of Ridge Racer and Daytona USA, if you guys remember that on the Sega Saturn. It is really easy to control. And I really dig that Nintendo 64 did that at its time. It was way above, you know, its time. And I think everybody who appreciates racing games, you know, starting from F-Zero and so on and so forth, you guys would really appreciate this game if you haven't been in that era. But I think everybody would have enjoyed this game. It's something that was just awesome. And I remember it was the talk of the town. Everybody in my school was talking about this. This is so freaking cool. And I love the fact that they cleaned it up. I just wish that they did the same with the cutscenes. Why couldn't they just make new cutscenes? I guess because of the licensing and everything like that, to relicense and all kinds of other, you know, you're going to need new voices or even use the old voices, but I don't know. Maybe something with licensing, and that's what's causing these issues where they just give you direct ports and just clean up the game itself. This game is really awesome. And I think $15 is a bit steep, but again, due to licensing, they're going to have to pay a fortune for this, especially right now that Disney took over. I don't think this falls under the Disney claim, though. So, luckily, this Star Wars was saved. I'm not sure, again, so don't take my word for it. But I know the old games, usually when you do contractual things, some people sign over everything. Where in this case, and you can see right here, he won. You can see that number, you know, that flag right there looks dated as hell. There you go. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of each stage so you guys see how it is. Not all of them, obviously. I don't want to ruin it for y'all. But now look. Goes right into the cutscene and it looks horrible like crazy. The frame rates are all over the place. Extremely jumpy. I don't know if it's even showing on here, but back then it was cool. But right now, I mean, look at these. This looks horrible. Kind of reminds me of like Banjo-Kazooie. Or Kazoo, whatever. I always called him Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know why. I guess because he looks cute and matched it. Kazooie instead of Kazoo. Here we go. Let's see here. So you can see, I mean, once it goes into the game, it goes really quick. Let's go right into it. Looks like the thing from Superman. And you can see the progression in how it is becoming harder and harder. You can literally tell. I'm not just talking obstacles. I'm talking about the ultimate obstacle, which is your opponents. They become a little bit harder as it goes by. And you can see already you've got stuff, collision objects that are much more prevalent into destroying your vehicle than just smashing through it. You can see right here. I still think $15 is pretty expensive for a game that's pretty much directly ported with just cleaned up graphics where you could get it on an emulator and, you know, have that baby go. But like I said, the licensing may be a bit expensive, so they got an upcharge on that as well. Am I left? I'm 3 of 3. And I'm position 1 right now. And I'm about to lap these people. That's hilarious. You'll see as you get, you know, further in the game, this will not happen again. Trust me. And I used to be really good in this game too. There you go. Really quick. We're going to go to the next one, and then we're going to go into the final say on this. Same exact kind of... And look at that. The snow is... Oh, it looks horrible. If the frame rates were fixed, I would say this would be amazing. But the experience of the game is awesome. You know, the game itself operates great. It doesn't have any issues. I'm not seeing anything wrong. Anything with controls, anything with anything. But to be honest with you, you would figure in a sort of direct port, you shouldn't have any issues. But you remember before, in some of the games that were ported, you had all the glitches shipped with it. Where this game, I already could tell one of the major glitches I had back in the Nintendo 64 days is where some of the textures would blink. Which kind of reminds me of like when you have an underpowered graphics card. This obviously is not happening here, so you could tell they did a little bit of cleanup, and especially on the glitches part. So they did take time on this game. This wasn't just, you know, a direct port, you could say. They did clean up some things, but it pretty much is a direct port. What I wish they had is those Need for Speed boosts, you know? That would have made it just that much better. But you see, here's a crash, and then you look. I gotta look back here. Oh shit! Okay. No, this is difficult. Okay, here we go. Oh god, they're right behind me. See, no ramp, nothing. That kind of sucks. But, you know, that's how the game was back then. I mean, it's... These things were, like, so horrible. But again, the controls are so easy. You could brake and go a little slower. I never... In racing games, I never brake, ever. I don't care about it. I'll just deal with it. I'll be like a... You know, if I have to smash through things, I'll smash through things. I don't care. I'm not slowing down. Because you'll see the computer as it gets further down. If you don't do that, you're screwed. Okay, now they're not anywhere near me. So that's good. It's good always to keep ahead. Because if you crash, you know that they can't catch up in time. You'll have a bit, you know, time to modify your moves. Yeah, if we were playing right now like Sega Rally, I would really hate this game. I can't even tell you how much. So I'm happy the controls were always awesome in this, because otherwise it would have been impossible. Oh, you're right. Ah! There you go. Good, nobody's here. Come on. I just wish they had like ramps where... What was that game? Rush? Yeah, it was Rush 2000, Rush something. I loved that game on the Dreamcast when it came out. You could fly with these cars that had like rockets and stuff. That was so cool. But really, when the prequels came out, they really milked it for all it's worth. They were like Disney before they were Disney. That was Star Wars, you know. You milk it for everything. I mean, whole lines of toys came out, every little thing for the prequels, just like they, you know, they did for the original too. So, but that's what you do when you have like, finally that. That's what you do when you have something like that, you know, a game like a movie like that. So I remember Nintendo 64 came out with all kinds of games for it. I still think the best game of all time for Nintendo 64 were the wrestling games, but also at the same time, GoldenEye. I mean, I know right now with all the first-person shooters, you guys might disagree with me on that, but I'm talking about back in those times, that was the best first-person shooter game on the market. Well, you know what, I'm not going to say that because Quake was the best of the best, but nobody really knew about Quake unless they were PC gamers, and it wasn't that common back then to have people who said, I'm a PC gamer. You most likely wanted always, you know, games that were for the consoles. And of course, once, you know, Doom, after so many years, got so popular that it came out to the consoles, for the consoles. But before that, nobody cared for it. And GoldenEye was the, you know, the golden caboose. It was the best of the best. Creme de la creme. But it is what it is, right? So it's, I just really miss those days, sort of. But yeah, with Star Fox and this game right here, and you know, they had so many good racing games. Ridge Racer, which wasn't for the Nintendo 64, but for the Sony PlayStation. Daytona USA, for the Sega Saturn. I mean, it was good to be a kid. I mean, all these arcade games. Sega Saturn and Sega in general went into the arcade market. So they had the best RPGs, you know, other than not having Final Fantasy, which they had a shot at doing that, but when they, you know, didn't want Sony's help on the Dreamcast, you know, and I mean, yeah, was it Dreamcast? Oh, no, that was Sega Saturn. They didn't want Sony's help in Sega Saturn. What happened was they ended up going to, from Nintendo, they jumped ship and went into Sega. Oh, sorry. From Nintendo, they jumped ship. They wanted to go to Sega, and then they ended up going to Sony, Final Fantasy. But that's what it was known for, guys. It was known, Sega, for arcade releases. So you had Virtua Fighter. All these arcade releases were coming out directly, ported into the Sega Saturn, and then became Dreamcast later on, which was Virtua Fighter 4. So you got all these arcade games coming out for it. Grandia, whatever it was called. That was a great game. That's also available right now for the Switch. Look how horrible the graphics are in this. I mean, unbelievable. So guys, what do I think of Star Wars Racer? Well, like I said, I really wish that they could have made the cutscenes flow better. It almost seems like it's a direct port that was cleaned up by some kind of program like emulators do. Okay, cleaned it up, everything. The game is awesome. I just wish they would have put more into it. They did correct some of the glitches, so I can verify, you know, I could definitely, you know, let you know about that. I can validate that. So, what do I think of it? Well, I'm going to give it a, I'm going to say a 7 out of 10, only because it does feel like a mod was made on the game. That was just cleaning it up. Kind of like if you guys remember Bleem or Bleemcast or Bleem in general for the PC, when you could get your PlayStation games played on an emulator on Bleem and it up-reses everything to HD. That's what this thing felt like. It's still an amazing game. Highly recommended. I don't think I'd spend $15 over it. I know you guys recommended me to get this, so I did. I don't know if I'd pay $15, maybe $10. That would be a good price for it. $5. Again, because of the licensors and all that, yes, it is a fun racing game. If you're Star Wars fans, if you're fans of this old version of the game that was in Nintendo 64, you'll absolutely think it's probably even worth the $15. I'm a big fan of this game. I really loved it back in the day. I do love to play it on the Nintendo Switch on the go. I've played this even on emulators a billion times. I owned it for the Nintendo 64. You know, so it's a great game, I would say, but I still got to give it 7 out of 10 because it doesn't feel as, you know, like they did anything that would make this really different other than clean up the game a little bit. It is a fun game. I highly recommend it. Don't get me wrong. The controls are a 10 out of 10. There's no doubt about that. There's nothing wrong with the controls. If you like that Ridge Racer, Daytona USA type feel, you will love this game. Now, if you like more of that Sega Rally, slippery all over the place kind of controls, you will not like this game at all because it doesn't feel like when you're driving really a car or anything like that. You can make real sudden moves just by left or right, really quick moves. For this game, you kind of need that. and you really can't. So it's not really the physics of you know, how cars work or anything like that, or even how jets work, to be honest with you, or anything like that. They do give you the power to invert the controls and all kinds of stuff like that to give you that, you know, jet-like feeling or whatever. But the game is amazing. I really still dig it. I still think it is, you know, back then it, you know, it lived, you know, it tested its time even now. But back then it was way above its time, and I think it was really good to see that in action being ported to the Nintendo Switch. I just kind of expected more. And I think, you know, what's the problem? I think that when something gets ported to the Nintendo Switch, the developer themselves, or whoever's doing whatever, should kind of think about it and say, it's like a bad special effect in a movie. You know how they say, if you can't do special effects, don't do it at all, because if you do these, visual effects, if you do these fake, you know, CGI effects in your movie, and believe me, I learned CGI, even though I don't know what it's called right now, but it's CGI. But I learned all of this since I was, you know, younger, and I became better and better at it. But I always knew that all my old movies, the old shorts that I did, they all looked like crap, and it killed the story when you see a bad, you know, CGI moment or visual effects or any kind of stuff like that. When you see something bad, it just kind of kills the entire story and the entire vibe of your, you know, of the entire thing, of your entire movie. It's the same thing with this. When you get those little skip frames in the movies, it kind of ruins the illusion. It ruins the immersion. You know, I can't explain it. It's like, it just kind of ruins it for you. And that's why I give it a 7 out of 10. But the game itself, if you just skip through all of it, you know, it's kind of like in WWE 2K18 when you get that crappy, the entrants that are so crappy on the Nintendo Switch because it's going so slow. So you just shut it off. So if you just skip through it and you just go to the games, you'll give it a whopping 10 out of 10 and would love it. I wish they could make a brand new game of this. Of course, it's probably going to cost some fortunes because they got to go with Disney and everything like that, or who knows. You know, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this thing works. But, you know, that's what it is. So that's something you guys got to think about. You know, should we make a petition for this like we did with the WWE games? And you saw now they're actually coming out with new games. And I let you guys know before anybody else knew about it way back when. Let's hope we can make a petition for this. Somebody can make a petition and just we all sign this. And hopefully they can make a newer game of this one right here. But I absolutely love the game. I like taking it on the go with me. I think it's a great game and it's fun. If it's on sale, definitely catch it, and it will be on sale. Catch it then when it'll be like $5 or $10. I don't know if I'd necessarily pay $15 if it wasn't for you guys telling me to get it. I wouldn't pay $15. I'd save my money up. So that's just my take on it. You guys might say I'm an idiot and might, like enjoy paying $15 for a game like that, and that's fine. That to each their own. I'm not, we shouldn't condemn each other for it. It's just, I feel that $15 is a bit too steep for a port that minor things went into it, to be released. That's just my take on it. Anyways, as always, guys, giving you the truth. Let me know what you guys think in the forum section down below, what they call the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think. As always, this is a self-funded channel. We are the independent channel. We're not those paid-for idiots that tell you something is good when it's not. Okay, we give you guys the absolute truth because that's the people's channel. I thank you guys for offering me the Patreon services and to fund and all that. But trust me, I worked 3 jobs to make this happen. And I'd rather you guys save that money for your families, for charity, especially what's going on right now. I'd rather you guys buy the tech that I'm doing reviews on and, and let us know together. The best way to give, back to the community, because this is our channel. What's the best way to do it? Is to comment down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you like this game? Do you not like this game? Why you don't like this game? Are you looking forward to buying this game? Are you not going to buy this game? Let me know down in the comment section below, because this is how you guys give back. This is how we all give back. This is our channel. Let our community grow by liking, subscribing, hitting that bell button, but most important, comment, because together we can help people make better informed decisions and not get ripped off by these paid-for reviewers. That's the reason I opened this channel in the first place. And I can't thank you guys enough for making it what it is. And we're reaching, we're growing slowly but surely. I know a lot of you guys hit the notification bell and you're telling me that you didn't get alerted of new videos, and you contacted them and they said because we're not a big enough channel. We're growing slowly but surely. I'm not doing any advertising, and for us to reach this kind of number is pretty amazing. You know, I've been on YouTube forever. This channel has been forever, but it wasn't a channel. It was just I was here because I was here, you know. When we started to take it seriously is when I said, that's it, enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of these paid-for reviewers after the whole, you know, WWE 2K18 fiasco. You know, I worked in Catholic Charities as a big brother, and I saw so many kids waste their money and crying to their parents how this game does not run anymore and all kinds of stuff. And I was just so angry that I wanted to come out with something for y'all, okay? And that's why I did this channel in the first place, and I'm glad we released it, and that's it. So guys, if you like what you see, definitely like, subscribe, share, let our community grow, share, and definitely comment down below. That's the most important. Let's together help people make better informed decisions. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, you know, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.